Well, we do it every Thursday. We got Steve Young. We've got ping pong. No, I do that every time. This is bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo balls.
Yeah.
There's
This
32.
is ping pong.
Ping pong bingo.
It's
Listen, there's
bloody
32
ping pong.
balls. They've each representing a team. Then Steve talks about the quarterback. So I can't explain it, but that's what happens. Oh, and we got Bill Polian's playing this.
I can't hurt myself here.
No,
Bill,
don't
be
do that.
careful,
Don't get
Bill.
hurt.
There's
Put you on IR.
There's a knife inside
you went on
there.
IR
that
last
gets
time
steady.
we did this. I did.
Oh,
For Steve, the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, all right, Steve.
So what, now you say to yourself, Coach, Nick Mullins, C.J. Beathard, who's going to back up Jimmy? You know, I think Nick Mullins probably has a little bit of higher ceiling. I mean, watching him play last few weeks, I mean, C.J.'s a tough, great backup. I would take C.J. probably amongst, 32 backups right now. He's in the top 10 of backups that I would want on my team. But I think Nick's going to, I think he might be the one that wins that job as backup. But both of them, well coached. You know that Kyle coaches quarterbacks, and he gets the best out of them. Last week's game gave everybody in San Francisco the sense that we're going to be okay. We're not going to flail into nowhere's land. We just get our quarterback back, and we'll start to, kind of climb the mountain.
I feel like we've jazzed up the music.
Yeah, we did.
We get
Teddy was turning his
very
spinner.
jazzy.
Yeah, it's really jazzy, right? I
Bill
think so.
Polian's kind of,
You
What
got
are
it.
you saying, Steve?
You got it,
Steve,
Steve.
Seattle Seahawks. We're talking Russell Wilson here.
There we go.
So I watched him up close and personal last week, and he's not explosive. Sometimes last week I think he almost ran for 61 and threw for 72 and won. One thing about him, you saw him when he scrambled and won the game essentially. He goes down the field and he's got, he's like all of a sudden he's got these linemen chasing him and can't get him, and he stays in bounds. It's like he's always present. He really understands the game. He takes every inch of it. His long balls are great. I mean, because of his size, people are going to he'll never be, the classic. I hate that. I can't stand that. And it's going to be Russell Wilson over a number of years that finally you're going to say, that guy's a Hall of Fame player. I mean, it's coming. He's that kind of a guy. So to me, I love what Seattle's doing. They've transitioned. Pete's got a great system. They take a holistic approach to players. That's why Seattle doesn't just go into the tank and come back 3 years later. They can reposition, retool, and now all of a sudden they're back and in the mix. And I think it's a lot of fun to see what Seattle does.
Well, that's what we're watching with this defense.
Steve,
every team should take note. Go ahead, Teddy.
You think Russell can take that team or that offense and still have success when they go into maybe a New Orleans or win a Los Angeles? Something like that.
Yeah, no, right? In other words, they're young, they're transitioning. It's like I said, they're a transitioning ball club. Getting into the playoffs is a great accomplishment. Do I think they can go and surprise somebody? Yeah, they're not the hapless. It's not like you go in there like, they're dead. But they've got, yes, with Russell, there's always a chance you can score enough points and go down and beat somebody. But
gotcha.
I agree, doubtful, but I see it.
All right.
One more to go, Steve.
Don't let me do this.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
All right. We got Miami
Dolphins,
and
Ryan Tannehill.
There you go.
Do you feel, I do, that the Dolphins, who were a bunch of independent contractors for 2 generations in that locker room, suddenly have decided that they are a team? And I feel that, it's been coming for a little while. They're playing better football, and when Ryan's healthy, I think the coach is now set. He might have been fired, and now I think because of the win, he'll stay, and that's good. Have some consistency in Miami. I feel like with some good drafts, and Ryan kind of keeps coming, this team could threaten. Right? Am I being too Pollyanna about this one? I just feel like
I agree. It's like that when a team has a moment and they feel like their moment they've arrived and they finally cleared a hurdle. Maybe you can take it to that next level.
Well, they've been trying to clean house. I mean, they let a lot of good players go.
Management has to let them stay the course. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Well, I think, and to Steve's point, they need that consistency. I hope the head coach does stick around. That's what the good teams, we see that. Speaking of Pete Carroll, Steve, you did it. Another week in the books, my friend. Thank you.
Woo.
No one got hurt. It's all
When Bill's there, I'm very nervous when Bill's there. I'm very nervous there because he's he's Yoda. He's Yoda, and you're like
he's still going.
You don't tell Yoda things. Yoda tells you things. So it's very nerve-wracking.
All right, are you done, Steve? Let us know. You good?
Got plenty more, but let's end it. Let's end it.
All right, Adam Schefter in the Domino's pregame HQ. Listen, we're going to talk to you about some injuries, and none greater than OBJ. What's the update there?
Well, when we saw him miss last week's game with a quad injury, and the Giants said today that he's going to be questionable for Sunday, day-to-day. He's visiting specialists to have his quad further examined. Now, Odell Beckham Jr. said that his quad is an issue, told reporters that today. Hope to should be able to play Sunday. But at this point, when the quad is bothering you and you're visiting with outside specialists and you're not practicing, as is the case with OBJ, you wonder if he'll wind up playing on Sunday against the Tennessee Titans. Would not be a surprise to see him sit out. As for James Conner, he admitted that he is dealing with a high ankle sprain, 2 to 4 week injury in all probability. Now, the Steelers have not ruled out the possibility that he could play on Sunday, despite the fact that he did not practice on Wednesday. Again, it remains a long shot that he could be out there on Sunday for the New England Patriots, but the Steelers are not giving up hope. And if he can't play, of course, Jalen Samuels would start once again for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Ezekiel Elliott was back at practice today after missing practice on Wednesday with the shoulder injury that he sustained on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. You saw the big blow. Now, Zeke has made it a point to say that it's very important for him to win the rushing title this year. And to win the rushing title, he's going to have to be out there getting high volume. And so that could be the case this week and for the remainder of the season. But Zeke is expected to play despite missing time on Wednesday with the shoulder injury.
All right, Shefty, in the what could possibly go wrong category, the NFL announced the 2020 draft will be in Las Vegas. What's the reaction been around the league?
Well, I think people are waiting to see how the Raiders use all their first-round draft picks in that draft, perhaps even the number 1 overall pick in that draft. And, of course, you always have draft prospects come out to that city. Well, there'll be 30 or so NFL draft prospects on the loose in Las Vegas. What could happen? What could happen while they're out there? So everybody will have to be on their best behavior while they're out in Las Vegas. It will coincide with the Raiders moving to Las Vegas, the draft will. And so the draft is going to Vegas, the Raiders are going to Vegas, and a league that once spurned Las Vegas is now embracing Las Vegas.
That's right. But first we go to Nashville. That's where we'll be in April, then Las Vegas. Shefty, thank you. Still to come, we will continue our spotlight. We'll shine it on the running backs. Will Chris Carson have a big week against the 49ers? And how about Darren Sproles? Can he break out? We'll see what Teddy thinks about Saquon as well.
Yeah.
To our running back spotlight, and we'll let somebody start with the best matchup. Is that you, Teddy?
Yes. Best matchup. I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers game Monday. I'm going to say Chris Carson. Good matchup for him. Watching him Monday night versus the Vikings, how the Seattle Seahawks just counted on him on that first touchdown drive. They gave it to him 6 times. And in the fourth quarter, over and over and over again, you can tell for a team in the Seattle Seahawks that runs the ball primarily about half the time anyway, to depend on Carson like this, you know he's going to get his carries. He's a strong runner. He'll get into the end zone like that. So let's go with Carson for a good matchup.
All right, fair enough. Darren, the other side of the equation, tough matchup.
I'm going to go with Chris Thompson with the Washington Redskins. Listen, this offensive line with the Redskins is beat up. And they're on their 4th, 5th guy up there up front. They're pulling people off the street. And you're going up against a Jags team that they're not playing well, but they are a talented bunch in that front 7, and especially after the huge loss against the Tennessee Titans where they got embarrassed, they will show up. The Jags will show up this week. Chris Thompson's going to have a tough time running the ball between those tackles.
All right, Saquon. I mean, Teddy.
Oh, hello.
Well, hello.
What would you like to know, Wendy?
Let's see. Who do you want regardless? I know. That's why.
Why?
You know.
What's the question, though?
What running back would you like to have no matter what?
No matter what?
No matter what.
No matter what?
As usual.
Saquon Barkley. That's right. Told you week after week after week against the Chicago Bear defense, it doesn't matter. This guy is going to produce for you. What did he have last week, guys? Was it 170?
Yes, he broke out. He broke records, as you said.
Oh, my God.
He broke records.
Break records. I think I've seen enough.
Yeah.
I've seen enough. He's the best in the game. So young. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley, just like I'm picking him over all of them in this category.
We'll be at the Super Bowl. We're going to be at the Super Bowl. He's probably going to be on the set at the Super Bowl, not playing in the game, and you're going to pick
Who's the pivotal matchup tonight? Saquon Barkley.
That's where we're going.
But listen, there's a lot of truth to that.
Better than Todd Gurley? Better than Zeke Elliott?
I would take Saquon over them right now. Yes.
I don't think you're alone. I don't think you're alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he
what
can
I've
play,
seen.
man. You're right.
He definitely can play. He has come as advertised.
And looking at it as a linebacker, as a challenge of a running back to tackle, bring down, cover, all of those things, I'd go with Saquon.
Fair enough. What you got breaking out?
I don't even know. I was going to go with Darren Sproles, but we're all on Saquon. But
no, you can
Darren
do that.
Sproles
I like
my
Darren
breakout
Sproles too.
candidate. We saw him last week against the Cowboys making catches out of the backfield, and I know Sproles has been on injury list for a long time, but he's got fresh legs, Teddy. He's back out there. He's running guys over, trying to get into the end zone. Darren Sproles this week against a Rams defense that can't stop anyone. out of the backfield. Look for Darren Sproles to have a big day.
All right, Shefty, I'll ask you a storyline, but before I do, I think it's worth getting an update again on Melvin Gordon just because it's such a pivotal point tonight.
Before we get to our running back storyline, I do want to update you on Melvin Gordon. Basically, it's a situation where when he first hurt that knee, the Chargers were told it would be 2 to 4 weeks. It's been 18 days now. And I think he feels like he's good enough to go, but I think the team is going to be guarded and cautious going into the pregame warm-ups. In other words, he's going to have to show them something different to change their minds for him to play or not play. I think going in, the mindset is, let's make sure we're careful with him and not play him. Now, if he goes out there, feels great pregame warm-ups, maybe gets out there, but I think it's going to be challenging for Melvin Gordon to play tonight. That's one running back storyline. The other running back storyline that we're watching this weekend is the Minnesota Vikings and Dalvin Cook. And that's because Mike Zimmer, your friend, fired John DeFilippo because he wasn't running the football enough. So when that happens and they have a game this upcoming week, you could rest be assured what they're going to be doing on Sunday. They're going to be running Dalvin Cook. That is the storyline for the Minnesota Vikings as they get ready for a big game here, as they try to keep alive their playoff hopes. But this is obviously a big win, and they're going to be running the football.
Mike Zimmer said he was going to be more involved. You would expect that after making the decision to part ways with the OC. Still to come. We got to talk about the defense, yeah?
Yeah, it's about time.
It is about time. We'll shine that spotlight squarely on the defense, plus which ESPN analyst has the Bears in the big game.
Ooh, big game.
Ooh, big game. Big.